Hi, Dr. Sorensen. So I recorded this once before and it was over 10 minutes, so I'm going to do better and I'm not going to make you sit through 10 minutes of this video. So this is my reflection. I narrowed it down to 6 main things that I learned throughout the semester that I wanted to reflect back on. And I chose this on purpose because this template was called Infinity, and I feel like there's just like an infinite amount of things that were important to me, so it was hard to choose, but I did narrow it down. And so, starting off with number 6 was our subplans. The reason this made my top 6 things was because it was honestly something I never thought about until now, and you provided us such excellent resources that it makes me want to put a binder together now and prepare so that I have that right as soon as I start off teaching. And I know that the better prepared we are, the better off everyone involved is, us, the subs, the students, everyone. And one of my favorite things that you included in yours was a list of trustworthy students for the sub. And I feel like that would just be so helpful for the sub. And I really want to work hard at making sure I have sub plans right as soon as I begin teaching, ready to go. Number 5 was the demonstration method. And this made my top 6 because it kind of blew my mind, actually. I always just figured teachers were just really good at this. I never realized that there were steps to follow, that we had to do our prepare step, and then we had to show. I'm going through my notes right now, I'm sorry. We have to review, and it was just really good for me to have all these steps. And I loved the analogy about cooking shows and using demonstrations to teach concepts to students, like with the withdrawal period. I thought that was a really good thing to know. And then I really love demonstration methods because it helps students learn in different modalities, so they can visualize it, they can hear it, and then they can do it if you allow them to participate. It brings in those 3 different modalities. And then it also allows for different learning to take place, different learning theories to take place, like self-efficacy. If students see it being done, then they'll have more confidence in it themselves. So demonstration was my number 5. Number 4 was teacher liability and safety. And this was kind of like a duh for me, like it's important and I'm glad I know it. I'm glad we went over it and covered it. I learned that our 3 main duties in teaching labs or teaching safety is to instruct, supervise, and maintain. And safety is just the management of risk. It's not eliminating risk. And as far as liability goes, we are responsible for our students, and so we need to be smart, and we need to not put ourselves in a situation where things could go wrong or where things could be taken wrong. And sometimes that might seem difficult. I mean, for most of everything, it's pretty obvious what you shouldn't do as a teacher, but everything, it was good to know, it was good to go over. Number 3 is learning theories. This was pretty high up on my list because I thought it was really important. This is how students take in and process and retain information, and since each student is unique, not one theory is just correct by itself. I think we need to use all of the learning theories and incorporate as many as we can and teach to them so that we can reach these different modalities and learning styles our students have. And we can do this by using differentiated instruction, and through these different learning theories like behaviorism and constructivism and self-efficacy, we can really help learn how our students learn best, and it kind of gives us an opportunity to put ourselves in their shoes. Moving on to number 2, learning activities and instructional strategies. These are super important. They're obviously important to me. They're number 2 on my list because the activities and strategies, these are what our students are doing in our lessons, and it's what we are doing in our lessons. And these things, everything we do should have a reason. It should have a purpose because it matters how we do things, and they need to be helping us teach to our objectives. They can't just be in there for no good reason or just for fun or just for fluff. all the activities we do, all the strategies we incorporate need to help us reach our goal, and they should have a very distinct tie-in with that. That's really easy to learn when we do our PPAT section 3, is that everything needs to just have a really specific reason. So that was my number 2. Number 1 was lesson planning and instructional planning. This was the most important to me, my biggest standout, because this is how we're going to be organized as teachers. This is how we're going to teach in our best way if we can organize it in the way you taught us. So by using our strands, standards, and objectives, and putting in our assessment in there purposefully. Otherwise we won't do it, but we have to have our assessment in there. We have to gain their interest. We have to know what we're teaching, how we're going to teach it, what we need. And then, it also provides a really good way to reflect and review, not only for the students, but for us as teachers. What can I fix? What can I do better? What went well? Lesson planning is really important, and it's a way that we can organize our learning activities and our instructional strategies and properly implement learning theories as well. So that was my top 6, and I hope you enjoyed.